Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! Good morning, everyone. Happy holidays. Let's get into the first day of December here, as we got an important test for the stock market today, and Bitcoin also at the same level it was last night, but that might be a good thing. Let's jump on in. Nope. Yo! We're gonna rock the elf hat with the ball in the front today. Hope that's okay, guys. Happy holidays. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. If you're new to the stream and you're wondering why I might be wearing the ball, or not wearing the ball, but wearing the hat, well, I'm not taking the hat off until Bitcoin makes a new low. Hopefully, for my sake, and maybe fortunately for your sake, you guys probably want me to wear this hat forever. So that's where we're at. 17,086. Is Bitcoin just doing exactly what we were saying it was going to do last night? Well, it's looking like it. So let's jump on in. Guys, the S&P is the big story today. Okay, is the big story today. What's going on, Rudy, Knucklebuster, Rafi, Crypto Shock, Rod, Elliot, Keith. What else we got in here? B Money, Matt, Mike, Tug Eye. You got to tell me the story with your name, man. Tug Eye. Something tells me there's a cool story with that one. Big Don. I'm going to call you Big Don, man. It's not Big Din. It's Big Don. You know why? Because you're a big-ass Don. That's why. You're a Big Don. Doesn't a Don mean like a boss or something like that? I'm pretty sure it does. I'm not familiar with that language. Anyways, let's jump on in and have some fun. One ball? At least it's not two balls, if you know what I mean. I would be pretty worried if I had two balls on my face. At least it's just one ball on my face, you know? But the only ball I want in my face is if it was a munchkin, you know? Other than that, don't give me two balls, man. No two balls. He's wearing the ball. He said, all right, Let's jump on in. So 17,086 for Bitcoin. But what do we got? What do we got? Before we jump on to Bitcoin, though, the big story for today, right, is a few things we got going on here. So we know the S&P on the daily chart, I mean, really on any chart, to be honest, is approaching the big level where, you know, in this bear market, right, since the S&P started the bear market in last December, has been the point where you've seen a turnaround for the market, right? Well, how does this go into Bitcoin? Well, usually, not always, but usually when the stock market goes down, that also means Bitcoin goes down, or vice versa. When the stock market goes up, that means Bitcoin goes up, right? We know how this works. We understand the correlation between the two at this point. And notice where the S&P finds itself today, my friends. We find ourselves at that inevitable place when this whole move up, I was like, I think it's going to come up and test this trend line the whole way up. What did we hear? What did we hear the whole way up? Hold on.
Nope.
There we go. There we go. There's the nope. The nope wants to take like 3 pushes the nope, just the button doesn't want to work. But we found ourselves back up at this trend line. All right. Now, so far today, looks like the stock market's coming up a little bit, right? You got the S&P coming up on the open. You got the NASDAQ coming up in the open. Very, very interesting. Will the S&P be able to break out of this today? If it does, that could be very, very interesting and something that we haven't seen. I mean, even going back to, say, 2008, my friends, we haven't seen this going all the way back in time. Let's go back to 2008. 2000 and let's go to the weekly time frame. And let's go all the way back to 2008, where we didn't see that, right? We didn't see that breakout. We just saw an insta-dump on the last test. I mean, you can even go back to 2001, where we did see a breakout, and it ended up being a little bit of a fake out. So we find ourselves at a critical position on the S&P. This is what we should be watching, my friends. All right. So we'll watch this like a hawk flying through a highway with a bunch of rodents on the ground, looking ready to be picked up. But in the meantime, we did have, let's go back to BTC here. So BTC 17,096. Is Bitcoin just doing what we sort of said it was going to do last night, which is move up, kind of go a little bull flag, move up, just kind of consolidate sideways, move up again, consolidate sideways. Everyone waiting for that big dip to buy down here, and they don't get it, right? Or, you know, all the shorts revenge trading and just keep revenge trading, and they just keep getting stopped out. So far, what did we notice on the Bitcoin chart, my friends? Well, we noticed last night, what did Bitcoin do? Yes, we had some volatility this morning. We'll talk about it. We just had, you know, just a little bit of a consolidation again for BTC, all right? And if we were to look at this and say, okay, what is the measure move target of Bitcoin again? Let's do it again, my friends. Let's take the high to the low. Let's put it to the upside. And bada bing, bada boom.
Strap up. We're going to the moon.
We're not really going to the moon, but that puts you at that $17,500 level, which we've also been talking about. So let's see if Bitcoin has enough juice to get up there. I mean, that's what I'm looking at. And, you know, you guys can call me crazy and keep calling me crazy. I don't know. I don't care what you guys think. I really, really don't. It's not going to impact my decision. You guys are like, Jordan, we don't care about this. We care about why your hat is all jacked up this morning. We care about why your hat is a triangle like this. Well, there's a reason why my hat's a triangle like this. Stepping up. We stay a stepping. Mike said you missed the old Crow bird character. Well, I need Crow to do something, right? As soon as Crow starts hawking, as soon as Crow starts going, caw-caw, then we can bring out the Crow as soon as it wants to fly up. Right now, it doesn't want to fly up, right? Right now, it wants to fly sideways. It's very, very sad. Crow is like that sad little character because everyone's funning Crow. Crow's going to go bankrupt. Crow's going to go bankrupt. No one wants to be the Crow. Now, what did we get this morning that caused this little whiplash? You might be saying, Jordan, why the hell did we get this wick up, this wick down? Like, what caused that? Well, this morning we got the PCE inflation data, right, which came in exactly as expected. That's why you didn't really see that big of a move. U.S. annual core PCE inflation declines to 5% in October as expected. Okay, so that didn't really change anything, right? We got what we expected. We got a decline in PCE, which is good ultimately. And we'll continue to take it day by day for that. But that's good news. That's good news at this point, right? I think I don't know. We'll hold off on the pump song. I do think we're going to be able to. I do think at the very least we're going to come up and take this wick and be able to play the pump song here on the stream this morning. I got some confidence that we will be able to play the pump song on the stream this morning, my friends. All right? We're going to keep it like that. He's still salty on Crow. Oh, dude, I am so salty on Crow. I will always be salty on Crow, just like I was salty on XRP. But me being salty on XRP saved me a couple moolah a couple of years ago, man. So, hey, if it's gonna take me being salty on Crow, I will be salty on Crow if it's gonna save me a couple moolah. Who knows? Who knows? Let me see. What up? What's going on, Rudy? Jingle bells, jingle bell rock. SPX spoke the downtrend. It's flirting with it. It's flirting with the downtrend right now. But that would be ultimately really juicy, wouldn't it? That would be very, very nice for the continuation of the ELF rally to the upside. That would be absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, we got that happening. What else do we got going on today, guys? Well, we got this was a pretty important one, the ISM Manufacturing Index. So we got that at 10 o'clock. That also could cause some volatility. So in 6 minutes, it's like every single day this week, we sort of get this. It's like every day in general during the week. We sort of get this economic data that can cause a little volatility. So we got another one coming up in 6 minutes. Hallelujah. Maybe we see a little bit more wiki action, up, down, and everything in between. So 6 minutes, we get that. We'll watch that and see how that impacts the markets. It's always fun when you get those and you sort of see how the market reacts. And it always ends up, what I notice about that stuff is it always ends up right in the same place at the end of the day, right? Nothing really changes there. All right. So that's what we got for BTC. I'm still waiting for that. Continue to squeeze up, man. Squeeze. Squeeze those little biz. Until eventually they say, hey, shit, I think I missed the bottom. And then they FOMO in, and then that's when we start. Then that's when we take profits, and then that's when we flip short, my friends, which we're not there yet. I think we got a few little more bears that wanted to get bearish at the lows. A few of them more to squeeze, all right? So what else we got? So Bitcoin on the daily time frame. A little bit of a pullback today, but I would say this about Bitcoin's daily. As long as it stays above these highs, okay, basically this set of highs over here, as long as it stays above there, which is like 16,900 on the daily close today, all is good. I don't see anything that changes there unless Bitcoin gets a daily close below 16,900. We close below there. I mean, that's basically Bitcoin coming back down and closing down here. That probably would be no bueno, okay? And then I'd be looking for something like, the head, the sort of the left shoulder. We all like a little head, but not when it's on top, right? We like when the head is on the bottom, if you know what I mean, my friends. All my guys out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You like when the head's on the bottom, not on the top. But, that little left shoulder, the head, right shoulder, and something like that, right? So let's stay above 16,900. All right, here we go. Bitcoin's coming back up to get this wick right now. Here we go, my friends. Here we go. The S&P's coming up like a freaking rocket ship today too. And the DXY is getting absolutely trounced today. So we got the formula for Bitcoin to continue up. But once again, like we said yesterday, I stress caution not to get too over exuberant. Don't get too bullish while the S&P's at resistance. Okay? It's one of those things where you got to kind of play your card, right? As Bitcoin moves up here, if you were accumulating alts and Bitcoin down here, don't be afraid to take some profits off the board. All right, because yes, Bitcoin, to me, the Bitcoin chart looks like it can go higher. But what could change that? This guy right here, okay? So once again, right, we're going to watch this today, and we'll zoom in a little bit. Let's go like the 1 hour time frame on the S&P. You can notice that, look at the S&P. It's trying to get up there. You see it? I see it up there. That looks pretty juicy to me, right? You had two initial rejections. Rejection. Boop! Looks like it's trying to break out there. Let's see what we get on the juiciness on the S&P. Come on, man. Let's get a little happy this morning, man. Let's get a little happy. I like it. Now, will it last? Probably not. If we're going based off recent history, probably not, my friends. Okay? He said I'm panic buying? Yeah. Put my emotions in a jar today. If I'm gonna be honest, like where do we expect it? Right, let's finish the dance. Where should we expect this to be? I mean, if we're going based off past results, we probably expect this to do a little thing. I mean, and this is what everyone's thinking. And listen, I'm a battered bull too, guys. I don't expect any major price levels to be broken. Like at this point, I don't know what it would take me to be like actually bullish, to be like, okay, I think markets are going up, you know, and not coming back down. I don't know what it would take at this point. Okay. I think we're all at that point where we don't believe in any breakout. Any breakout that Bitcoin gets, stock markets gets, breakout to the downside in the DXY, we just don't believe it. Why? Because we've been beaten down all year. And this is no different. I see this breaking out and I go, you know, like if it's going to be like the last time, it's going to come back up here, create some bearish divergence, and then just dump from here. If it's going to be like the last times, but we'll watch it. We'll see what the daily closes on this. This is what gets me excited today. That and also the DXY. Look at the DXY coming down today, man. Now, once again, this is big on the DXY, but notice where it is. Okay, it's still hanging on to a little bit of support down there. But the DXY coming hot and heavy, hot and heavy today too. I guess we could do a little pump song for that too. Why not? Why not? It's always good when the DXY comes down. Isn't it sad? Like a lot of us live in the US and we want our currency to go down comparative to other currencies. It's kind of sad, actually. It's kind of sad. Put my emotions. It's so sad. We want our own currency to go down. Only in today's clown world do we want that. Okay? Only in today's clown world. Let's push down the dollar. But no, the DXY is coming down. I mean, the next level I'm looking for is like 103 on the DXY, which is a big level. And that's going to be a tough level for the DXY to crack. We look left. Look what we got, my friends. We got one peak from January 2017. We got another peak over here from March of 2020. Big level for the DXY coming in around 103. I do have to think you'll get a bounce off 103. Unless you see some absolute craziness where it just something happens and it just like freaking catapults down. But you know, 103, I do expect to bounce on sort of the DXY here. So good stuff on the DXY. We'll see if it continues. Bitcoin is flirting, man. It's flirting right there. Just like yesterday, it was sort of flirting, and have a little fun. There's everyone, chat. Guys, let me know if you are in here in the chat. All my lurkers out there, let me know if you are in here in the chat. Okay? Let me know. All right, so Bitcoin still coming up. Once again, my targets here, you guys are like, all right, Jordan, you expect us to go up still a little bit. My targets, I mean, very simple. 18K to test these little local highs up here from November 10th. These little lows from November 8th. If for whatever reason, you know, the S&P wants to continue, 19K is sort of the highest I see Bitcoin going at this point. If Bitcoin breaks 19K, and we've sort of said this a couple times, but 19K is like the line in the sand to me. I don't think Bitcoin gets above 19K. I really, really don't. Like, even if the S&P goes nuts, I'm just being honest, I don't think Bitcoin gets above 19K. So as much as this is awesome for a short-term move, which is it's a little bit of a short squeeze. I mean, we see this consistently, right? We saw this right here. Bitcoin broke the downtrend, came up, squeezed the shorts, continued, right? We saw this up here as well in May. Downtrend, Bitcoin came up, squeezed the shorts, continued. I think you're seeing something a little along the lines of that. Man, 19K is the line in the sand, though. Right? And I'll say this, I don't think that'll happen. If it does, then, you know, obviously it's bullish, but I'm going to go with the assumption that 18K is probably a good area to, you know, look for some other ways to the downside. And 19K is a good area to look for some other ways to the downside. But we'll talk about it when we get there. I mean, right now we're still fighting 17K. So we're still fighting it like a rock. Let's get back down in the 1 hour time frame here. The little 1 hour time frame is we still fight. We fight like a Viking this morning. It's too early for the Viking. The Viking's still sleeping, guys. It's way too early for the Viking this morning. You know what I mean? Like, look what he's doing right now. I have no friends. All the bulls left my army. Everyone's bearish. Kill the herd. Recession. The Viking doesn't want to come out until tonight. All right. Rudy said, stop being pessimistic, Jordan. We are going to go to the moon, but the moon is below us. We flipped the world upside down, apparently. I don't know. Let me see. Lots of resistance at 19K. Facts. Let me see. The Band-Aid needs to be ripped off. Yeah, I mean, that's the common narrative. I mean, listen. The Band-Aid has been ripped off a lot this year, right? The common narrative is the Band-Aid needs to get ripped off. I mean, I've always argued this. This Bitcoin bear market has been the worst bear market in Bitcoin from the sheer fact of how fast it went down and how the fact that you didn't get any relief rallies to the upside. Okay? I mean, the relief rallies you got were very lackluster, whereas the past you got 100% relief rallies in a bear market. You didn't see any of that this time. Okay? So I would argue that the Band-Aid has been freaking ripped, man. Okay? Now, doesn't mean the Band-Aid, it doesn't mean there's still blood coming from that cut. You know, the Band-Aid might have not done its job. There still might be some blood. But let me tell you, the Band-Aid has been ripped this year, man. That is for damn sure. Still could get ripped more, but, you know, obviously we'll talk about that when the time comes. What else do we got for BT Sizzle, man? Let's go check out Ethereum. Let's check out Ethereum this morning. What do we got going on Ethereum? Let's see. Too early for that shit? Yeah, I agree. That's why I try not to bring any of that shit out. All right, so Ethereum, what do we got? Well, I actually kind of like where Ethereum is at the moment. Now, this is kind of the same point we brought up with Bitcoin, right? We got lows all coming across here. So support coming across. We got resistance here too, okay? Now you're sitting right on top of that as support. So Ethereum, so far today, is doing kind of what we wanted to see, right? Is we zoom in a little bit on ETH. What do we got on Ethereum? Well, we got another one of these sort of, you know, this one's not as clean, but we got another one of these sort of, you know, just downwards channels, and you can argue it's a bull flag, you can argue it's not. That's up for you to debate, but it just shows that kind of consolidation up here. Now, I like the Bitcoin chart's a little bit more clean. This one's a little bit more, I don't love this chart, but I do like it on the daily, you know, where you're able to get back above this key level looking, this key level looking left. Oh, look at these highs and these lows. You were able to reclaim those levels. I think that's a pretty good sign. Now it's a matter of holding that today, okay? And I still am looking for the 618 retracement back up to 1448 for ETH. That probably would be where it went if Bitcoin went to like 18K. I'm going to assume. Excuse me, man. I'm burping up a storm this morning. I'm sorry, guys. I try not to slurp my coffee or burp in the morning, but unfortunately, it's not going very well for me. Right? I try my best here. But same type of deal for ETH. You know, shorter term time frames, not really giving you much. I would say really not giving you much at this current moment. But you could argue, okay, if you broke from a little downtrend of resistance, okay, or downtrend support, you could argue something like that you broke down. Not a convincing breakdown, though. It was more just, oh, yeah, we broke down. I'm going to go sideways. You know what I mean? So, ETH, I still think it's got some room to run. You know, I don't think it just stops right here. I still see this vector candle up here, and I say, okay, they're just going to leave that up there. They came up this far. You telling me they're just going to stop right here and bring it back down? I don't see it. I don't see it. And we'll let the charts do the talking, man. It's easy to sit here and talk, but let's let the charts do the talking. Let me see. Slurping and burping. That's what we do over here. We slurp and burp. We slurp and trick and burp. Come on, man. I'm really, man, come on. I want to see the S&P get a little bit of momentum today, right? I don't want to see one of these little fake little whoop and then whoop right back down. I want to see the S&P close like up here, man, right? I don't want to see it close over here and this turn into a little bit of a wick and we're just like, okay, that's freaking ridiculous. We got faked out right here. This is the big news today, though. This is the big. Look at the DXY coming down like a hot potato, dude. You gotta love the DXY coming down like a hot potato. Man, that is freaking awesome. The DXY coming out. Altcoins, I'm not too worried about altcoins this morning. Altcoins are going to follow Bitcoin. I think we all know that at this point. You know, if you've been here long enough, you kind of understand that. So altcoins are kind of just consolidating with Bitcoin. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Total market cap. Man, let's see where total is. because I told you guys, this is the biggest chart for me. And today, I think the rest of this week will tell a lot. Sorry, not today. But we look at total market cap. Let's stick on the daily. Look where we're at, right? Total market cap, a lot of the time, gives you better clues than Bitcoin does, my friends. Total market cap, lows, flipping as resistance right now, okay? And we sort of said this again. The Bitcoin chart and total market cap chart are similar, but also very different in a lot of ways. If total can break back above the previous lows, you might look at this as a little bit of a deviation, at least for the short term, where you get a low, you break down, you get everyone super, super bearish, then you break back up into the trend. You know what I mean? So if this is able to reclaim this orange box, I don't see why you don't come for this candle here and make a little bit of noise in the short term. All right, simple as that. I think, you gotta respect resistance as it's still there, right? You're still sitting there, but if Bitcoin can get one more move up and close up there, man, I mean, you're back up into the range on total market cap, and all of a sudden, total market cap doesn't look too bad. All of a sudden, let's go to the weekly time frame real quick on total. The weekly time frame is even more telling to me, right? Let's go over to the weekly. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of all this shiza. Look where weekly is. Weekly, lows to highs. Where are we chilling? 786 retracement. Okay, we came right to the 786 retracement. We got to bounce. Once again, look where we're at. If the weekly can get a close back up here above the previous lows, like I said, once again, I don't think that the total market cap chart would look too bad if the weekly was able to close back up here. Now we're still very far away, right? We're still fighting with 17K here for Bitcoin, so that might be a little bit ominous. But once again, we find resistance here. Man, that's probably the opposite of what you want. And if you start curling back down from here, man, that's looking likely for that next leg down. But if you're able to reclaim this, I think you got some more juice left in the tank. Now is the time to fight, my friends. We are right there fighting that level. We're fighting that level, and I'll tell you this, the Viking will be out tonight. As much as you don't want to see the Viking in the morning, the Viking will be out tonight, my friends. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yo, nice LFAT, Bathwater, what's going on, buddy? We got the LFAT and everything in between. We got the best LFATs in the game. I think we have the best LFATs in the game. Let me see. Rafi said, my prediction, Bitcoin will go up, down, or sideways this week. It's a good prediction, man. That is a good freaking prediction. I'll tell you that. A really, really good prediction. you can't beat that prediction, right? Holy moly, that's a really good prediction. All right, let's see what else. See what else. Seems like a lot of people that are just like, Bitcoin could go up or down. Cool, but it's okay to say Bitcoin can go up or down, but you got to also say, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? A lot of times I hear, okay, this could happen, but they don't tell you what they think is going to happen. And that's cool, And then whatever happens, they say, I was right. That's always the common narrative. They go, oh, look, it could come up and test this resistance as support. And then they just end the video like that. Anyways, what else do we got? So that's Ethereum, S&P. Come on, S&P, don't get faked out right there, man. Don't get faked out. Let's see what else we got, my friends. Oh, man. Man. Let's see. So, I guess, what else can we look at? S&P, SPX. This one's still getting a nice bounce. I still like this one a lot. This chart. We're going to continue to look at this every single day. At the big BTC versus SPX chart. I think Bitcoin's getting ready to outpace the stock market here over the course of the next couple months. Okay? I think it is. You can call me crazy. I just love the point where Bitcoin's at against the stock markets. Like we said, support, 786 retracement, big falling wedge. Oh, man. I love where it is. Now, that doesn't mean, like we said, doesn't mean that the Bitcoin gets to go up in price. But if Bitcoin was to outpace the stock market, what that sort of tells me is, like, oh man, you gotta love it. You gotta crack the back in the morning, man. What that sort of tells me is, do not see some like crazy friggin' event, because if you see some crazy event, usually Bitcoin gets hammered against the S&P, you know. But this one shows me you should find a little bit of support right here. Now, that could change with the Black Swan events. Okay, cool. We've had a lot of those this year, but I still like where that is. Let's go back to BTC. 17,034. Let's see what we got. Gold hit the 1,800 mark. Gold hit the 1,800 mark. Gold's been killing it. That's definitely for sure. Gold's been killing it. Let's look at gold real quick. Gold. Gold. Look at gold, man. Hey, for all you guys who are in gold, you're killing it right now. You're killing it. Now, this is a point where I'd probably look for a rejection for the short term, but here we go. Pump song for gold. Who would have thought? No, but if you look at where gold is, don't wanna party. Don't wanna party. This is where I'm looking for a pullback for gold, right? You got higher highs, you got lower highs on the daily RSI, and you are sitting sort of right at that resistance point, right? So if we look at gold, all right, could we see that little bit of a turn down, a back test of the $1,700 level, right? And we come back up and you make some big inverse head and shoulders for gold. It's probably what that makes the most sense for me for gold, but hey, man, gold, can't hate on it right now. The gold bugs are winning. Peter Schiff right now is so freaking happy. So happy on gold. We can't lose with the LFATs. No, we can't lose with the LFATs. The LFAT is the miraculous saving grace. You know what I mean? Let's see. Doesn't hurt to hold a little gold and a little silver. Doesn't hurt to hold anything. You know, if something's going up, you got to give it a little credit. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Bitcoin. Man, Bitcoin's been a little boring this morning. We got, I guess did we get the manufacturing report? Let me see. The manufacturing index. See if that came in here. Let's see. 49. What's the actual median previous? So actual 49%. Okay, so it came in lower. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, so far, since that point, it looks like the market came down a little bit. So I'm going to assume they take that as a bad thing. You never know nowadays, right? You can get bad economic data and it ends up being bullish. You can get bad economic data and it ends up being bearish. A lot of times you don't freaking know. You have no idea. Let me see. If I was not born a boy, I would have nothing to hold. You can hold your tit if you wanted to, you know. A lot of guys can hold their tits too, you know. I guess it doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean?
Rant alert.
But yeah. As a guy, listen. I asked you guys this a couple months ago. What guy doesn't play with their balls? I'm just being honest, you know. What guy doesn't play with their balls? Every guy plays with their balls, man. If a guy says they don't play with their balls, they're lying, or they're not a man.
Rant alert.
Every guy plays with their balls. You know what it is, or their tit. You know, if they can't reach their balls, they can play with your tit too. All right. So Bitcoin right now 17K, coming down a little bit for Bitcoin. We've actually seen some volatility this morning. We've seen wick down, wick up. See where this hour. We got 45 minutes into the hourly close, so a little bit far for this one. This was one to end up turning into a wick. We'll find out. The wicks are where it's at, I guess, for BTC lately. The Wick City. What else can we take a look at? S&P trying to hold this as support at the current moment. Do I like that rejection there? Looks kind of a stop hunt for the S&P. I don't love that, right? I don't love the one high, the two highs. The rise, the rise, slightly higher high. He called that a deviation, and then a move back down. That's exactly what we didn't want to see, right? It was a move up to get a move back down. So we'll see where that ends up. Once again, it's an hourly candle. Am I overly concerned with an hourly candle? No, but we'll see where that ends up. Let's see. The DXY pumping now. pump and dump, man. Pump, 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 dump, dump, pump, dump, pump. Let's go back over and check. Let's check the DXY. The DXY is, let's see, DXY pumping. It's come up a little bit, yeah. Come up a little bit from earlier. I mean, listen, the S&P is at major resistance. This is a point where you gotta, at least for the S&P, you gotta look at it as a little bit of a shady spot for the S&P, you know? And if you're going based off history, this has been the point where the S&P has gotten a tumble. So you gotta respect it. Respect it until it's not there, dude. You know? Especially, I mean, if you look at where you're kind of at on the S&P, and you kind of bring up your MACD here, your MAC Dizzle, what do you got? You got 3 higher highs, and you got 3 lower highs. You got some pretty hefty bearish diversions coming there on the MACD. Pretty hefty bearish div. You know, I mean, last time you had that, where you were coming into this resistance, and you sort of had higher highs and lower highs. Obviously, that didn't play out very well for us. Okay, we've got to move from like 4,300 back down to 3,500 on the S&P. Yep, there you go. So once again, respect this. It's there, and we'll sort of go from there, and we'll take it from there. But that's what you got. We gotta wait it out. We gotta wait it out. But respect resistance until it's no longer resistance. Just like support. Respect support until it's no longer supportante. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Where we're at right now, if Bitcoin was to go back down to 15.5, you know how bearish everyone would get. But if you go based off history, it would get a bounce there. Everyone would get bullish again. We know how this works. Has to move $100 to qualify as a pump. Has to move $100 to qualify as a pump. I would say Bitcoin has to pump like 10% to qualify as a pump. No? Back in the days, you guys remember back in the days? A 3% move up for Bitcoin was trash. Trash. We would be like, you call 3% a pump? You know? And then, you know, nothing would be a pump unless it pumped 10% or more. Okay? Nowadays, you get a 1-2% pump, you're happy as shit. You're like, holy moly, 1%? Woohoo! Time to party.
Strap up, we're
Time
going
to
to
party.
the
We
moon.
got a 1% pump. 1% little pumpy pump. All right. So I guess that is, I mean, like I said, I want to keep these morning ones nice and sweet. I mean, there's not too much to say. We kind of went over what we want to see today, right? We want to see the DXY ultimately break this level. Okay, we want to see the S&P ultimately break this level, and we want to see Bitcoin ultimately break this level, right? So Bitcoin at resistance, S&P at resistance, DXY at support. Let's see where we end up tonight. I'm curious. I think, you know, it's one of those times throughout this whole bear market we sort of say this is the turning point, and you know, if it's going to be like it always has, this is going to be the point where the S&P gets rejected and starts to mosey its way back down here into the S&P abyss. And if the S&P goes into the abyss, well, you know, I mean, you do have the Bitcoin that's trying to outpace the S&P here, right? Based off that weekly chart we looked at. But doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin has to go up, okay? Or Bitcoin has to go down. Just means that it can go sideways while the S&P goes down, you know? But, hey, let's see what we got here. 16,937. Come on, BT Sizzle. My nizzle. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Best line in planes, trains, and automobiles. Money goes to Larry Bird. Doesn't play with your balls as much as you. Larry Bird. That is a good line. My favorite scene from Plane, Trains, and Automobiles is when he gets pissed at the airport lady, and he's like, I don't care what you gotta do. I've been through absolute shit. Okay? I've crashed my car. I've done this. You better get me on that mother trucking plane right trucking now before I mother trucking say mother trucking. He just goes nuts. That's a good scene too. It's a good scene. I gotta watch that movie, man. That is a damn good ass movie. Damn good ass movie. Your mother trucking this, mother trucking that. All right. That's a damn good ass movie. All right, so the S&P on the hourly, it's dropping back down. So it's kind of doing exactly what we didn't want it to do. So far. A little deviation above. Boop. But I think it's important that we see where we close tonight, my friends. All right. Bitcoin right now, I guess, kind of holding 16,960 at that same point. This is the level we want to see Bitcoin hold too. The sort of and the invalidation for me for any type of move out for Bitcoin, like we said earlier, was 16,900, which is basically just, you know, these previous highs on the daily chart. Hold 16,900, all is good in crypto land. Bitcoin gets a daily close back below 16,900. Like always. So we'll watch that going into tonight. So watch 16,900, and we'll see where the daily closes. These short-term charts or whatever, I mean, they are what they are. And we'll reconvene tonight and see where we end up. All right, watch 16,900 like a hawk. If you guys have the S&P chart up, watch to see where this ends up today. So far, deviation up, rejection. Okay, DXY. I'm assuming this is going to look at like the opposite, which is, yeah, low, deviation low. We'll see where the DXY ends up. Okay, you did technically break the lows. Now we want to see, okay, if this gets back up above those lows, that was a deviation. The DXY is probably going to be ready to kind of try to come back up here. So let's watch this like a hawk coming into tonight. I'm going to call it a stream for today, though, and we shall reconvene at 6:30 p.m. tonight. All right. So enjoy yourselves, and I'll enjoy myself, and have a fantastic day, my friends. So let's see what Bitcoin gets up to, and as always, like if Bitcoin starts to come back up again, always don't be afraid to take some profits on the way back up. If Bitcoin does start coming back down, well, we're right back into the range we've always been, right? And what ends up happening in that time frame is Bitcoin comes back down, Bitcoin gets back to support, everyone gets bearish, okay? And then it usually bounce off support again, and you play the same thing again. But anyways, we'll get to that depending on what Bitcoin does tonight. Something tells me you'll see a little effery, right, on the new month, first of the month, and you'll see a little craziness because of the stock market being at resistance and stuff like that. So later, peace out. Catch you guys at 6:30 p.m. Adios. Thanks for streaming during my meetings. You can't be paying attention to me during the meetings, man. That's not good. Pay attention to your meetings. Peace.